Hello Digimon fans! I'm still alive and kicking! Alright! And before we begin, I would like to thank the Johor Bahru Digimon card game community for getting me another Agumon t-shirt! Yeah! I have one already, but thank you very much. I appreciate the second one. I've been washing and putting this on, and it's not like I'm not gonna wash any of these after I get the second one, but yeah, it's a great help, because I don't have to be afraid that, oh no, my t-shirt isn't dry, and yeah, stuff like that. Well, I am very sorry over the unplanned hiatus. Has it been 2 weeks? Something like that? Yeah. So basically, after I got my third Alphos Vidramon, I've been very busy playtesting and deck building, trying to make an Alphos Vidramon deck. But has it been successful? Well, if it was, today's topic would be about Alphos Vidramon. But no, it wasn't really successful, so we'll talk about Omegamon again. Yes, why? Because we're Team Omega. Yeah! Well, that's not the point. So, you all know that I highly recommend Omega decks, and they are T1 decks in Japan. Yep, Tier 1. Of course, there are Omega decks which are Tier 2 as well, but basically, Omega decks are quite strong. Especially Omega Red. What? Yeah, you heard it right this time. It's red. I know I like blue, I play Omega Blue, but this time I decided to go with red. So, I noticed that the meta in Malaysia and Singapore are both more, shifting towards purple, yellow, and ShineGreymon is also quite common. So basically, I was kind of curious, kind of disappointed, why Omegamon wasn't really making an impact over here. So guess what? My friend and I decided to hit a local tournament with our Omegamon red decks. Alright! Now let's check out my deck composition and how I performed during the tournament.
So, this is the initial deck which I built. Just like my Omega Blue deck, this deck relies on low-cost evolutions to reach Omegamon as fast as possible. Dark Tyrannomon, Ground Drummon or Lavagoritamon, and Hoomon allows me to hit level 6 from the Digitama with just 5 memory. There are also 2 cost level 3s, which were very useful when I needed to hard cast to limit my opponent's memory, or to cast and evolve into a blocker and save 1 memory. This is particularly good when playing against decks which take advantage of their opponents who have Digimon without any evolution base. Like Upamon? Yeah, people seem to favor it over Chibimon somehow, apparently because hardcasting blocker seems to be a common practice, so this would prevent them from getting anything out of Upamon. Plus, you also get that draw 1 from Digivolving. When I have memory to spare, Greymon is a great addition into this deck for that extra security attack. For 1 extra memory, Omegamon can take out 4 security cards on the first turn which it attacks. Agumon and Digimon also gives my Digimon some buffs, and BT2 Piomon and BT1 Metal Greymon makes up for the lack of Hammer Spar. Meanwhile, we also have Skull Greymon here, which is a total darling when facing black decks. And also Volcanic Dramon, which allows me to clear my opponent's field if they're trying to rookie rush me. It's pretty useful against purple. And also let's not forget Gaia Force, the reason why red decks are so good. So how did this deck perform? The first tournament had 14 players. In the first round, I was paired with last weekend's champion who used the purple-yellow deck. He played it very well, and from my point of view, it was a pretty tight game. However, I didn't expect him to go all YOLO and rookie rush me when I had blockers on the field, so I somehow forgot to block. This actually happened in both games, which, ultimately costed me the round. There was a part in the second game which I could have won early on, but I decided to take the risk by attacking the security with Hoomon. I mean, yeah, I had Omegamon in my hand, but why not? Sadly, the security that was flipped was Millennium. I think there was only one in his deck, so it was really pure bad luck. But still, not blocking when I could really costed me the match. The next match was kinda something I didn't expect to see. Yep, Hiatus Blue and some promos. At the start of the match, he actually told me he was new, but I certainly didn't expect him to come with a starter deck. Well, turns out he got into the game quite late and is still waiting for his boosters, which sadly will only come in November. Well, it was a quick 2-0 for me. My final match was against Black Diaboro. I'm not too sure if my opponent bricked or something, but it was another quick 2-0 as well. My opponent kinda managed to set up some blockers, but ShineGreymon and Omegamon blasted them away, and he kinda bricked because he had to summon Diaboromon from hand. Well, yeah, I mean, I did play quite a control match. Well, in the end it got wiped out by Gaia Force as well. I should say, this deck does have the advantage against black decks. So, in the end, I finished 6th with a 2-1 record. While I do believe I could have gone 3-0 if not for that silly mistake of not blocking, I wasn't actually quite satisfied with this deck. Yeah, particularly because I felt that it was light enough and doesn't really need memory borrowers. Hence, Metal Greymon was just a nuisance to me because of its higher evo cost compared to Ground Dramon, and it doesn't even have an evo base effect. But sadly, I did not bring any spare Ground Dramon with me, and neither could I borrow any from the players there, so I had to switch things up a bit. I considered replacing one Hoomon with a Dupemon, while putting 2 BT1 Taichi in place of both Metal Greymon. This was just so that if I met any yellow decks and had to go through an endurance battle, Dupemon would be able to discard their security and prevent any free tamer setups for them. Also, it allows me to avoid, any security Digimon which are boosted by the starter deck TK. But it just didn't go too well during playtesting. Reducing my level 5s to 8 pieces saw me brick quite often, as somehow I became starved of level 5s. And I also had to ensure that Dukemon came in late in the game, as I only put 1 in the deck. So if it comes out too early and gets deleted, that's the end of it. So in the end, I ditched that idea and stayed with 2 Metal Greymon. Except this time, I used 1 SEC Metal Greymon instead. Well, I actually only have 1. If I had 2, I would definitely have gone with 2. The rationale behind using it was because it had the same evo cost as the uncommon Metal Greymon, but it has an evo base effect, which would boost Hoomon to 15,000 DP, which is on par with Omegamon. The second session saw 14 players as well, and in the first match, I faced another red deck. This game was kinda funny because I bricked really hard here, and there was a point where I had 3 Hoomon and 3 Gaia Force in my hand. Well, I basically played out most of the tie with level 6 and 7s, but thank goodness I was able to regain some momentum mid-game and never looked back. Volcanic Dramon and Gaia Force kept my opponent in check, and I came out with a quick 2-0 win. My second opponent brought a green beatdown deck. Not much gimmicks, except for Pinocchimon. Yeah, frankly speaking, I was caught by surprise when he summoned Pinocchimon out of the blue and caused me to basically lose 1 turn because all my Digimon were rested. It actually happened twice, but I was already on a roll in both games, so it actually just delayed my win by 1 turn. Yep, another 2-0. Round 3 put me against another purple yellow deck. Yes, and he was also the champion of the previous session. Now it would be great if I had this fairy tale and I told everyone that I learned from my past mistakes and blocked my opponent when he rookie rushed. But sadly, that was not the case. Game 1 was a breakfast for both of us, with me having only level 5 Digimon in my starting hand. Well, it was slightly better than round 1, but this is where I began to miss having, enough ground Dramon. Yeah, it can be pretty important since summoning it costs only 5 memory. Well, luckily my opponent bricked as well, so he was kinda starved of level 4s, and Volcanic Dramon came up useful as well. He also played quite a bit of big cards like PMon and Chimeramon, so that allowed me to stay in game. By the end of the game, I only managed to draw 2 rookies from my deck, but lucky for me, I picked up the first game of the set. Game 2 was equally bad. I only managed to draw 1 rookie throughout the game, and that was pretty late, and he made quick work of me by swarming me with PMon and level 4s. Yeah, so it went down to the tiebreaker. In the tiebreaker, all my rookies made an appearance. Like, wow! Why are there so many rookies in my hand? So thanks to the low cost rookies, I was actually able to build an army large enough to swarm him, despite him having blockers on the field. So with this, I ended my tournament 3-0, tied first place with my friend Aleph, who brought an Omega deck as well. In overall, I would say that I am pretty satisfied with the performance of this deck. Though there are some tweaks which I feel might be needed that can improve it. Removing Metal Greymon and replacing them with 2 more Ground Dramon would definitely save me 1 memory regardless of whether it is summoning or digivolving. Also, BT2 Piomon, while it might sound crucial in theory, yeah, it never really took off. Same goes for Vorvomon. Vorvomon was put in because 5000 DP rookies are great for rushing, as it can survive most rookies and some level 4s, especially when it has a Digimon base boosting it by 1000 DP. However, I find myself, not actually using it to hit securities because it almost always ends up digivolving. Same goes for Piomon. It was supposed to be a kamikaze memory booster, but I hardly have the chance to use it at all, especially when I usually have enough memory to function. Well, yeah, I mean, it would be great to have 1 extra memory, but somehow I always come into a situation where I need it to digivolve instead. Therefore, the card I might use is Guilmon, which can act as a DP booster on top of Digimon. It's not as good as Agumon early game, but other than it, there aren't really many good level 3s to use. So, in finishing first place, what did I get? These 4 BTO2 booster packs! Alright! Well, actually I got 2 in the first session, but I actually misplaced it, so yeah, I only have 4 left, or else I'd be opening 6. So, let's see what I got from these packs and whether I got any good stuff. Well, honestly speaking, there was someone who already got a parallel rare Dukemon from the same box, so I wouldn't really be expecting much. Now let's check. This is the first pack. Okay. First pack open. Okay. Impmon. Alright. Take it off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Now next. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Seadramon. Okay, remove the last card. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's an option. Okay. Next card. Next pack, I mean. Whoa! Volcanic Dramon. One of the important cards of my deck. Ooh, Algomon. Alright. And Rice Greymon. Last one. Let's hope it's something good. Is it something good? Let's see. Agumon. And oh, so yep, nothing at all. All right, I guess that's it.
Okay. I had high hopes, but sadly, that was some pretty bad packs. I do wonder, if those 2 packs which I lost actually had something in them, but there's no use crying over spilt milk. Well, even though the packs were pretty bad, this deck is really good. Yes, I'm very satisfied with the outcome. 6 games, 5 wins, 1 loss. Well, yeah, that loss was pretty silly. I mean, who doesn't block a rookie rush when you have a blocker on the field? Me, I guess. Why? I don't know. Beats me. Don't ask me. So, what do you think about this deck? Give it a try, especially those recommendations I suggested at the back. Yep. Let me know. Bring them to your local Tamer workshop or Tamer battle. And let's see if you win with it. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to upload another video soon. See ya!